Hey guys, welcome to the Grease Chain Podcast with your host Josh.
And Jenny, an enthusiast hangout.
Welcome to 2025. It has been quite some time
It's
since
been
we
a
have
long time.
it's been a very since August since we recorded an episode. I don't know what happened, just we got busy or I got busy, life
Life.
happens and yeah. um but yeah, so not really like leaving off from there, but overall Halloween haunt at Kings Island was fun. I got to go up and do Cedar Point, Halloween weekends, and Winterfest at Kings Island. If you've been to any of those events, then you know. Jenny?
So I also did all of those events. And then I know, Josh, you got to go to Disney for the Halloween party too. You didn't even mention that.
You're right. I kind of forgot about that.
I went in September for my birthday, and I think you were there the week before
Yeah,
Mike and I
you
were
were there
down
the week
there.
after me. So yeah,
Yeah.
really quick about Disney. Me and my wife went down for a weekend. We did Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, and I did my first Halloween party. It was so much fun. We're gonna go back this August. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend doing that if you can.
Yeah. Mike and I were down there the weekend after you guys.
Yes,
And we did Disney. We did the party on that Friday, which was fun. That was my first Halloween party there
that's
too.
right. When the hurricane hit too.
Yeah, we flew right into the hurricane to
That's
land.
right. I remember
Yeah,
that.
that Thursday night. That was crazy.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
and
we
you're here
did
to tell the tale.
Disney. I know, right? But we did Disney, and then we also did Horror Nights at Universal, so that was fun too.
Nice. Yeah, so I mean 2024 was a good year. Really no issues with anything. I ended the year with 51. Is it 51 or 52 visits to Kings Island? Um, it's the most I've had since 2019. 2019, I was in the 90s, but that's because I had more time back then.
I don't even keep track of how many visits, but I
Well,
know you
no,
had
it
way
keeps
more than
track
me.
in the app now.
I know,
Uh,
but I never look at it, is what I'm saying.
And Cedar Point, I actually hit double digits. I think I had 12 or 13 visits, somewhere in between there. It's been a while since I've had that many.
Wow.
Um,
I
I
think I might
know.
have had 5. I'm not even sure, and that's
Yeah.
not very much for me.
Okay, so yeah, that's oh, and I did my first New Year's Eve at Kings Island. That was fun.
Me
Um,
too.
definitely, yeah, duh, you freaking saw me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely fun. It was something. The park was beyond like at first it was dead because it was raining. Like I was like in between 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, that place just filled up. I got to experience the balloon drop, and yeah, it was a good old time.
Yeah, it
Um,
was fun.
it was. So where are we now? It's January of 2025. 2025 is looking to be a pretty good year. We have a lot of new ride announcements. We have events coming back from the dead. We have what was I gonna say? We have Kentucky Kingdom. They're investing $11 million into the park this year, and I'm very excited to. I actually want to get back down. I haven't been down there in one, two, three, at least 3 years. We went when Owen was a baby, so he'll be 5 this year. So it's been at least 3 years.
Wow.
Um,
I
yeah,
haven't been
and
since 2015.
oh god,
Yeah, it's been a while.
yeah, and they added the Christmas event, like I can't
Yeah,
talk.
I saw
Kentucky
that.
Kingdom is in Mahersha now, and they're doing a very good job of making that park like Silver Dollar City and Hollywood, right?
Yes.
Hersham, yeah, Hersham's Hollywood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of catching up here. Cedar Point the other day did announce coaster not coaster winter chill out. It's gonna be Saturday, February 22nd. Tickets go on sale 21st.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, I believe,
Yeah,
right?
next Tuesday at 10 a.m. And guess what? I'm not gonna go. um, I just it's $100. Like that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. Like when I went last year, I literally had no intentions on going last year, and I just had the link up and I got in. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. And last year it sucked. It was my first year with a guided tour because I didn't go the year before, and then the year before that was still the self-guided. The self-guided is the way to go.
Yeah.
I understand it takes one person to ruin it for everybody, but the guided tours, you were rushed. The bathroom situation, I don't even want to go there. If you were there, you were there. You were rushed for, if you weren't at the front of the group, then you didn't get to see the whole thing. If you were in the back, then it was more like, oh, hey, we got 5 minutes versus 15 or just whatever it might be. It was still cool. Some of the best photos I have from Winter Chill Out is when it was the self-guided tours because you could take your time. Literally, we would always be the first group, and we would just take our time. Like you're not rushed. Like if you stop and see a good like photo or video moment, it's not like, okay, come on, hurry up, let's go. I don't know.
I
Have
mean,
you ever
I
been to?
definitely agree with you on that. I didn't go last year because I didn't win the lottery to get
Yeah, and
chosen.
this year is the first come first serve, but each person can get up to 4 tickets.
Yeah, but my problem with the whole thing, and I went every single year since they've been doing it, except last year because I didn't get chosen. But my biggest issue with the event is one, the price, because $100 to just walk around Cedar Point and not even have any rides open is a lot, in my opinion. I mean, I could spend that $100 on something else. Like I could go use that and fly somewhere and go somewhere else that actually has rides running. I know it
Especially how
goes
cold it is too.
right. And I know it goes to charity, which is amazing. And I think that that's great that they do that. But I just think that with and I know they're doing the $100 for a reason. It's because there's such a high demand. So the supply is limited, demand is high. Obviously, the
Yeah,
price is going to go up.
and it's gonna sell out no
But
matter what.
yeah, but I just feel like that's kind of not a reasonable price for someone like myself who, I don't know, just isn't really as interested in going this year after what I heard happened last year. I know they're saying, "Oh, there's gonna be more bathrooms open," and
Yeah,
they're
and
saying it's gonna be better, but I just
I have
don't.
a whole slew of videos here on YouTube
And
of
yeah, and I've seen your
past tour.
pictures and stuff
Yeah,
from last year. And I mean, I think my boyfriend went with you last year too, and he was telling me that it just wasn't that good. So I
no, it really was.
personally don't think it's worth it. And the only reason I would go would be to see friends who I haven't seen in a while. But I don't know if I want to pay $100
Yeah,
to
you really
just
want to pay
see my friends.
$100, be out in the freezing cold, up on the lake, and drive and waste gas.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think I'd rather go to Florida and go to Disney
Let's go.
like I did last year. Let's do it.
All right, so moving forward to May, Hollywood Nights. I
Yeah.
will be attending. It is the last weekend of May this year, so the weekend after Memorial Day, but before June. And so, as always, coaster stock. I don't want to get into. I don't know why, but for some reason they made that weekend coaster stock. The return of the almighty coaster stock. Um, have you been to the coaster stock?
I went twice. So I went the first year that they had it, and then I think a couple years after that.
Okay.
I don't remember 100% which year that was, but it's been a while. My take on it was a lot of fun, the event, but being 2 full days, I was really, really tired just from
Mhm.
just everything.
Well,
And
freaking, I think Coaster Mania wore me out more than Coaster Stock two
really,
days. Oh yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Coaster Stock is a great event, and I think that they did an amazing job with it when they had it. At least when I was able to attend, but I haven't gone to it the past however many years it's been, and I know they didn't have it last year. So
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are listening and you're aware of anything that's going on in the coaster community, there's tons of you know, thoughts and opinions, which is fine, on why they might have chose that weekend, because I don't know, like Hollywood Nights already sold out, and I know Coaster Stock was always the weekend before Memorial Day because there were no other events in the middle of May, from what I know. But I don't know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Hollywood Nights, and then the weekend after that, the first weekend of June, is Coaster Mania. I will not be attending. I'm just probably sticking to one event this year, because I'm busy doing other things. What about you, Jenny? You got
I
anything going on for June?
so as far as Coaster Mania, I'm actually kind of trying to decide what I want to do as far as events because that's the same weekend as the Coaster Rodeo event down at Six
Okay, okay.
Flags Fiesta,
That event
Texas.
sounds fun from what I've seen in the
Yeah,
past.
it looks amazing, and I mean, I went to Coaster Mania last year, and I've gone to Coaster Mania every year since 2013, but it honestly has not been a great event the past, I'm not even sure how many years, and I've
I just feel
pretty
like it's
much
more of a money grab.
yeah, I've pretty much just gone so I could hang out with friends, like I said about the Winter Chill Out event, and I
Yeah,
just don't know if it's worth it, because last year I mean, it just it wasn't great. So I have to decide what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm really leaning towards doing the event at Six Flags because I think that that would be a lot of fun. And I saw that they had ERT in pretty much the whole park, if I
yeah,
remember seeing that correctly last year. And a bunch of my friends were at the event too. So might be something that I go to this year.
yeah, definitely. Well, that's cool. Yeah, so we're just gonna kind of stop there, for now, for as far as events go. Um, and yeah, as far as new rides, I mean, are you excited about any new rides? I know they got, what's that, Alpine Fury. Is that Carowinds, or is that Canada's Wonderland?
I thought that was the name for Canada's Wonderland, but maybe I'm
Canada's
wrong.
Wonderland. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't been keeping up with it. I really haven't. But yeah, and then also Kings Island. We got that racing water slide. What's the name of it?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
Something racers. I don't even know.
That's
I mean,
so bad that we don't
I
even
am
know.
not a water park person.
Same.
Um, but just for your guys' sake, I'm looking it up right now. River. Oh, what the heck's the name of it? New for Soak City in 2025. That's right. Two new attractions: River Racers and then Splash River Junction. I forgot about that, but I'll dive into that more on another episode. Um, but yeah, do you have anything else before we move on?
Um, Not really. I just have some trips coming up. Couple Disney trips soon, which will be fun. And
You go to
um,
Disney? No.
I know, right? And then I think Mike and I are actually gonna be going out to California next month for like a quick weekend trip. He's never been to Knott's, so I wanted
Is
to
that
do
NorCal or SoCal?
Southern.
You better hope it's
I
not.
know. I kind of want to see what happens. Hopefully the
Right?
fires get contained and
I know.
everything gets better. I mean, I really hope so because I feel so bad for the people who live there and everything they're
Yeah.
dealing with right now.
All right, guys. Next up, we got our first guest of 2025, Gannon. Gannon, if you want to take over and tell us a little bit about yourself, let everyone know, whatever you want.
I mean, I've never really done a podcast before, so good to start somewhere. Yep, my name's Gannon. I've been going to Kings Island since, gosh, my first visit was probably either 2005 or 2006, because my earliest memory of Kings Island was being atop the Eiffel Tower, looking out at Son of Beast with the loop on it still, and watching those trains go through the loop and through its course. And yeah, I've been going there for years, and I just did my first season there. I worked the Banshee for its 10th anniversary. That was really fun. I mean, yeah, I really enjoy Kings Island. I enjoy riding roller coasters. I've recently started venturing out to other parks and really increasing that coaster count. Gonna try and I've already done the research. I plan to do almost every major amusement park in America within probably the next 5 to 8 years. So it's a process. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of traveling.
Okay,
yeah,
but
especially this year. It's our first big trip that
Nice.
my friend group and I has taken. So
where are you
yeah.
guys going?
Well, let's see. Well, we have 2 trips that are actually really close to each other. Our first trip was it was originally supposed to be Dollywood, Carowinds, Kings Dominion, Six Flags America, and Six Flags Great Adventure. But then Six Flags Great Adventure decided, aha, we're going to remove one of our marquee attractions because why not? So out of sheer protest for that, we have decided to cut Six Flags Great Adventure out of the plan. So our new trip, we're now doing Dollywood, Six Flags Over Georgia, Fun Spot Atlanta, because Area Force One is a bucket list coaster for me, and then Carowinds, and then ended off at Kings Dominion. We'll be
That
doing
sounds
that
fun.
sometime in May. And then
Nice.
the other trip, we're going to head back to Indiana Beach in June to try out All-American Triple Loop, now without the accordion restraints, see how that works. Hopefully ride Lost Coaster. It was closed when I went last year. I was so sad.
That thing looks
But
insane.
all the laps on Cornball Express and Steel Hog made up for it. And then we're heading back up to Michigan's Adventure to do laps on one of my favorite roller coasters, Shivering Timbers.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. If I'm genuinely not trying to overhype this, it is worth the drive to the middle of nowhere in Michigan to ride Shivering Timbers. All right. Imagine like everybody loves Diamondback because of the floaty airtime hills it has. Imagine that on a wooden coaster, and it's not really rough. It is so good. I cannot speak highly enough about Shivering Timbers. It is worth the drive. And then, of course, we have to do 2 full days at Cedar Point on the way home so I can ride my all-time favorite coaster. So
Wait, which is?
Magnum XL 200, and I do not care what anybody says. It is my favorite coaster. You would not have the airtime focused hyper coasters without Magnum, okay? You would not, all right? That is indisputable. So Magnum is the GOAT. It's better than Shivering Timbers. It's better than Diamondback. It is better than Steel Vengeance. It's better than Maverick. It's better than Millennium Force. I don't care.
Absolutely not.
It is my favorite ride.
Dang, man, you're really putting.
He's a
Maverick
Magnum
up.
fan.
I am a hardline Magnum enthusiast.
Wait. Do you like Magnum?
Yes. Yes, I very much like Magnum.
Nah, Magnum's a good ride. When we went to Cedar Point last year, we rode what? Well, why don't you tell us what you did last year?
Yeah, so it's ever since my friend group and I started taking trips to Amusement Park, we try and prioritize a full weekend at the Halloweekends event they have up at Cedar Point. And that year we decided, you know what, let's try out for the first time Hotel Breakers. And that was so worth the cost because that weekend Cedar Point was absolutely packed to the brim full of people. There was like you could look out at the causeway and there was a traffic jam getting into and out of the point. So staying on site was the absolute move. And because the nearest entrance to get into Cedar Point from Hotel Breakers is by Magnum, this worked out way too well for me. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to see how many times I can ride this thing before the park closes or my body quits. And my body didn't quit, but I got 51 rides in before the park closed. That was from about 11:30 in the morning till midnight. So pretty much 13 hours nonstop of Magnum. And I rode pretty much every seat on that, or every row on the train specifically. That was awesome.
And I was lucky enough to somewhat be there the same day you were.
Yeah, I had no idea that you were going to be there. So literally just that, that was pure coincidence. So yeah.
And he's not making it up, people. I was there to witness it. He had fast lane, right?
Yeah, because something that everybody likes to joke about is Magnum never gets a line. Well, let me tell you, the queue was almost full that Friday.
It was.
And the rest of Cedar Point was packed. I remember the next day on Saturday, it was just as packed. Corkscrew had to open up its switchbacks, which is something I've never seen before at Cedar Point. Which, I mean, it was absolutely busy. And in Magnum, it was running 3 trains, and that full queue is only about an hour wait. So
nice.
That's that arrow high capacity.
You know it's busy when Corkscrew has a queue.
Yeah.
Like there's actually people in line.
You know, my first time
and I think how they run Corkscrew up there is the third is it has 3 trains, one's in maintenance, the other 2 run, and they had both trains out on the track, and they were
my first time ever riding Corkscrew, I was expecting it to be longer, and I was also expecting it to not be that rough.
See, I have a different take on Corkscrew at Cedar Point. I honestly, like, for what it is, I do enjoy it. Is it the longest ride? No. Is the actual, like, corkscrew element on it a little bumpy? Yeah. But the first half, I think, is really solid. Nice airtime hill, and then you get some really good positive Gs on that vertical loop. And I did find a sweet spot on a corkscrew that has very minimal head banging.
And that is...
I'll give you a hint. It's in the very back car. As to which of the 4 seats that is, I'll let you discover.
But that would require me having to ride it.
Well, you're not going to get the smooth experience without riding it in the first place. So.
Oh, that's funny. That's cool.
Either way, you'd have to ride Corkscrew to find out.
Yeah.
I will say
I did not ride Corkscrew at all this year.
I don't think I rode it. No, I rode it once this year because my friend Travis needed the credit.
Okay.
I try and ride it once, maybe twice, like a trip to Cedar Point. I know that Thursday and Friday, I believe it wasn't running, but Saturday and Sunday Corkscrew.
Yeah. So. That's right. Yeah, because I was there Thursday, Friday, and I came home Saturday because I didn't want to deal with the crowds.
Oh, no. Like, literally attendance at Kings Island and Cedar Point that weekend was just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I think the weather must have been really nice or something.
It was.
Oh, yeah. There was like 2 solid weekends of nice weather, and the parks were just absolutely slammed.
Yeah, I believe it.
But hey, when my home park or like my 4-hour away home park is busy, like I'm not the one to complain because like that's good, that's money, that's future rides, it's future restaurants, it's future development that park's going to get within the next X amount of years. So when the park's crowded, I don't really complain.
I mean, I love to see people come into the park because it's. I mean, as a ride-op, it gives us something to do. It's kind of boring if you stand there and no one comes to your ride. But when the crowds pour in and you get a large queue, you're constantly pushing yourself to try and keep that line moving as quick as possible. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I have an important question for you. because you were talking about trips and like trying to ride all these coasters and everything. What is your current coaster count?
So I don't know how much of a hot take this would be, but in my general rankings, I do not consider kids coasters. Have I
Okay.
ridden kids coasters? Yes. Is there a whole lot? No, because when I was up at Michigan's Adventure, do I want to ride Woodstock Express or do I want to ride Shivering Timbers? And obviously, just see that's like my whole philosophy is if
Okay,
I'm ranking like
let
a
me
kid's
interrupt you
coaster,
there. Like, what about kids coaster the size of what Kings Island has? You have like the old Beastie, soapbox racers, and
I do have
flexible.
Soapbox Racers ranked. I do not have Woodstock Express ranked.
Okay, and
I feel
then
like I should. I mean, I might. That'll change, but
okay, and
from
the
the coasters I
Woodstock's
have
Air
ranked,
Rail, whatever it's called now.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, Woodstock Air Rail. And you want to know what's funny? When I was younger, my grandparents would bring me, and we were there. I'm like, no, let's try this. And even back when I was growing up, that thing was just rough and janky.
It is. It
And my
really
grandparents
is.
are like, Gannon, we're not doing this again. And I'm like, I'm fine with that.
It looks smooth, but you ride it, and yeah.
I mean, hey, that just goes to show what a fresh coat of paint can do.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is
100%.
true.
But to answer Jenny your question, my total count as of right now is 43.
Oh, okay.
The oldest coaster I've ridden is Blue Streak at Cedar Point. Newest coaster I've ridden is technically Soapbox because it is the newest of the two family boomerangs from Vekoma because Good Gravy opened first.
Okay,
Okay.
so let me ask you this. So your coaster count is in the 40s. So with your trip coming up this year, have you added how many new credits you're going to get?
Oh, that's a
I
great
think
question.
with new credits, I'm gonna increase it by I forget the exact number. My friend figured this out, but I think because the rearrangement, because we're not going to Six Flags Great Adventure, that's kind of altered it. But I would want to say that it is somewhere around 50 to 70 new coasters.
There you
That's
go.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, especially within a year, that's very good. So how are you splitting up? I heard you say May, and so when's your second round of trips?
As of right now, the plan is to do pretty much like the lower. I'm just gonna call like that the lower East Coast trip.
Yeah.
That's gonna be probably around Memorial Day because that's when those parks go daily. And I don't really care. Like if the park closes at 8, that's fine. But a lot of this was determining on when Cedar Point closed because my birthday is in the summer, and if I'm gonna be at Cedar Point around my birthday, I'd like to
Going right
stay
Magnum.
to a 10 o'clock close and get a couple night rides on, like Steel Vengeance Maverick or Magnum.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the lower East Coast trip is in May. The Michigan's Adventure, Indiana Beach, Cedar Point trip, that's going to be in June again. And then July, we're going to go back to Holiday World, and I'm going to do my first ever visit to Kentucky Kingdom on that trip.
Oh, wow.
I've already passed it 3 times, and it's literally because I'm just so excited to ride Voyage and Thunderbird
I don't blame you.
that I just kind of forgot about it. But I mean, I'm really excited for the future of Kentucky Kingdom, and I'm really looking forward to riding Storm Chaser there. That's the RMC, and then their Chance Hyper. I forget what that is called. It's Lightning Run, I believe.
Lightning Run.
Yes.
Yep.
Thunder Run is the
Thunder
Din Wood
Run.
coaster, which of all the coasters I've ridden, I've only ridden one Din coaster, and that's Wolverine Wildcat up at Michigan's Adventure.
Nice. So what date specifically in July will you be at Kentucky Kingdom? Do you know yet?
It's probably going to be like early July.
So like
because I know my
around
buddy's
the fourth.
down to Florida to visit somebody
Okay.
in a
I was
later.
because I'm trying to plan a trip there this year. I don't have anything set in stone, so we could be there the same weekend.
There you go.
I mean, hey, you're more than welcome. I mean, hopefully the crowds all go to like Splash and Safari and Hurricane Bay. We just lap like Voyage, Thunderbird, and Storm Runner all day.
Yeah.
Now, I do have another question for you. Sorry to interrupt you, Josh.
No,
I don't know if
go.
you're trying to say something. So I was able to go to Europe last year back in June, and that was I actually got to go to one of my bucket list parks that I had been wanting to go to for a very long time, Europa Park. Do you have any like bucket list parks and coasters that you really want to be able to go to? Like any parks in general or coasters that you're wanting to ride?
If I had to put down a bucket list park here in America, I would have to give that to Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because they have a lot of coasters there, and I do enjoy Aero coasters, and the last Aero Mega Looper is at Magic Mountain. That's Viper.
Yes.
And I would love for that to stick around. I don't know. All right. I hope it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, but I'd really like to get out there and ride that, because I know as someone who really loves Kings Island that this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I never rode Vortex.
What?
What? I mean, you weren't missing anything.
What are you, crazy?
Well, there's actually a whole story behind that, and it involves my favorite coaster at Kings Island, the Beast.
Okay. Well, you have good taste.
When I was about 11 years old, this is back still when my grandparents were bringing me to Kings Island. There was a time where I think my grandfather just wasn't feeling well, so he decided just to sit that trip out. And my mom's like, oh, I haven't been to Kings Island in a couple years, so I'll come with you and your grandmother. So we went there, and she saw Diamondback, and she's like, oh, this thing looks awesome. I'm going to go ride it. You want to join me? I'm like, are you kidding me? You see how tall that thing is? No. So she's like, all right, you know what? You don't want to ride Diamondback. That's fine. So she rode Diamondback. It's still her favorite ride at Kings Island to this day. She has not ridden Orion yet. I need to bring her and show her Orion. But then we were walking along. We did the train, and then, we're walking along that path, and my mom is like, let's do the Beast. And I'm like, the what? Because I didn't even know what the Beast was. Because after I would ride the train with my grandparents, we would walk all the way to Shake, Rattle, and Roll and ride that next. So we would just walk by that path there. I didn't even know that area existed. So we wait. I remember the queue. It was down the ramp through that first set of switchbacks, and then it was through one switchback in kind of like that overflow queue that's down there. It was about 45 minutes of waiting. We get there, we're on the Beast, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. I like this. It's just like a taller Woodstock Express. And then we hit the second lift hill, and I'm like, did we miss the station? Yeah. What's going on here? Because the concept of a second lift just was non-existent to me. And so, we climb to the top of the second lift, or, you look out, you get that good view of Kings Island that was obstructed by Vortex, of course. And we start making that turn, and I'm like, where are we going? And then we speed up, and I see that double helix. I'm like, oh boy. And let me tell you, that double helix did a number on me. It made me not want to. It put a fear of roller coasters into me. I'm being so serious.
So you're saying the view of Vortex going up the second lift hill?
I'm sorry?
You're saying the view of Vortex from the second lift hill?
Well, yeah. So like from the top of the second lift on Beast, like, you know, if you look out, you can see pretty much all of Kings Island. But
Yeah, that's my
back in those
favorite
days,
view
like
of the
literally,
park
you were
right
just
there.
staring at the back of Vortex.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, and so yeah, the Beast did a number on me, and it was a really bad first impression, if I'm being honest. And then my mom decided to take me on what is the coaster I didn't enjoy riding the first time I rode it, and it is number 43 out of 43 on my list, and that is Backlot Stunt Coaster. I didn't enjoy it then. I can tolerate it now, but I only ride it about once a year.
Okay, well,
The
where
Beast
does
is literally
Vertigo
like
rank
10
on your
feet.
list?
Yeah, like, no, literally the Beast is like 10 feet away. Like,
Yeah.
the Beast is just objectively better. So I'm going to ride the Beast over Backlot. So
I agree.
you say Vertigo is better than Backlot?
I prefer Vertigo over Backlot simply for the intensity.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is it janky? Yes. But is it janky intense? Yes. Now, if they put like the modern Vekoma vest restraints on those somehow, oh, that's gonna be so good. I would
It would
love to
definitely
see
be
that.
better.
Yeah.
But I guess, anyway, to finish my kind of flashback, fast forward about, it was the 2022 season. You know, my grandparents stopped bringing me. It was like, it was either 2016 or 2018. 2019, I didn't get a pass because I'm just like, I'm busy in high school and stuff. And, you know, 2020, 2021, it was COVID. And then 2022, it was the 50th anniversary. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't been here in a while. And I saw that they repainted and retracked a lot of the racer. And that was my first big coaster. That was my first big coaster. My grandpa took me on that. So it's always held a very special place for me. Not just in my heart, but also in like my general rankings. And so one day I'm walking past the Beast in 2022. I'm like, you know what? This is the ride that made me afraid of roller coasters. It's going to be the ride that breaks it. And I got on that thing, and lo and behold, the ride breaks down and we set up on the second lift.
You're like, what did I do?
But they got it running, and I enjoyed it, and the Beast has been my favorite at Kings On ever since.
So you have or have not been to Holiday World?
You're asking if I have or have not been to Holiday World?
Yeah.
I have been to Holiday World. We just simply have not stopped at Kentucky Kingdom the 3 times I've been there now.
So Kentucky Kingdom. Okay, so you've ridden Voyage.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I've ridden Voyage, I've ridden Legend, Raven, Good Gravy, Thunderbird. I love
okay, so
like,
you think Beast is better than Voyage?
you know what? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to throw in Shivering Timbers into the mix, because that is also a world-class wooden coaster. So
Okay.
this is my
I've
stance
never
on
been to
this.
Michigan's Adventure.
He has a
So-
credit I don't have.
Hey,
Trust
wait,
me,
you-
it is one
wait,
of the
you've never
best
been
you
to
can
Michigan's
ever get.
Adventure
It is
either?
so good.
No. Maybe this year I'll go.
You travel like all over the world, and the one place you don't go.
I know, I haven't been there,
Come on,
and
it's
I
just in the
haven't
middle of nowhere, Michigan.
haven't been to Indiana Beach either.
I have not been there either. That was.
I
supposed to be
do
on the list.
recommend it. It's got a great setting, and for the small collection of rides that they have, it is worth a stop there.
Yeah, and it's not
I
that
just want to
far.
go for the credits.
Yeah.
Steel Hog, though, oh my goodness. Oh, I could talk about Steel Hog all day. But anyway, so to go back to the wooden coaster discussion, so 3 wooden coasters. You have the Beast, the Voyage, and Shivering Timbers. Shivering Timbers has the best airtime I've ever experienced on a wooden coaster. Like, the reason I say that is because a lot of wooden coasters, they have like airtime hills, but they only give like weightlessness or no airtime.
Yeah.
On Shivering Timbers, I give this the seal of approval. Every single hill on Shivering Timbers has airtime. and not weak airtime. It's strong floater airtime that lifts you out of your seat. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Wait, now I have to ask you.
Yes.
Have you been to Knoebels?
Was also going to go there. We were also planning a trip to Pennsylvania, but due to timing and the fact that I need money to do these other trips in the first place, we've decided to postpone that for another year.
The
That'll
reason I
probably be
asked
part of
was
a much larger New
Phoenix.
England trip.
Okay. The reason I was asking was I just wondered if you had been on Phoenix because
everybody
that
raves
one's...
about Phoenix. It'll probably be 2026 when I ride Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah, I think you'll like it, especially after hearing about your Shivering Timbers experience.
Oh yeah, I mean, whenever I ride a new coaster, I go in with an open mind. I'm like, okay, let's see what this does.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Voyage, it has the best layout of a wooden coaster. The fact that I am in a PTC train banking 90 degrees is absolutely wild. Like you just don't see that on other roller coasters. It's absolutely crazy. And it's so long. And where the Beast excels over Voyage and Shivering Timbers, in my opinion, is setting. The setting of the Beast is absolutely unmatched. It's better than the setting for Voyage, in my opinion, and it's so much better than the setting for Shivering Timbers. Shivering Timbers is literally a parking lot coaster.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
I mean, if you just look at it from a satellite. It's literally
you can look on Google
goes
Earth,
along the parking lot.
Yeah, and then you see the massive hills.
Oh
yeah.
No, literally, like the fact that like the lift hill is only like 120 feet tall, and it charges through its mile plus of track. It's absolutely insane. It is that coaster is CCI's masterpiece. And I can sign off on that if that means anything. But cool. It personally, out of those three wooden coasters, Beast is my favorite because it broke my fear of coasters. And this is something that I feel like not a lot of people could say, particularly about like newer rides, is that when I ride the Beast, there's always something a little different about every ride that I've gotten. I've never gotten
the same.
Yeah, like no ride has ever been consistent for me. There's always something different about it. Mm-hmm. If I'm sitting on a back wheel seat, I expect it to be rougher. Sometimes it's not. It is, no matter where you sit, it's absolutely unpredictable. And that's something that I love about the Beast, is that no matter where I sit, I don't know what kind of ride I'm going to be getting into because, it just... it behaves like an animal.
Well, yeah, and that's what I love about wooden coasters. It depends on how hot it is. Does it rain, or is it dewy in the morning? So, is it warmed up yet? Is it a full train? Do you have a train by yourself? Like, no, I'm 100% with you. I've had different rides on Beast all the time. And it's that's the joy of a wooden roller coaster, is not every ride's the same.
Oh yeah, and there was a morning I was actually opening up the Beast and I got to test ride it. And let me tell you, riding the Beast by yourself is a surreal experience because the trains are not warmed up. So it's running a little slow. So you're just kind of just going through the woods there. It's really cool, actually.
I would love that. I love the Beast. I mean, it's one of my favorite wood coasters. But Voyage is my number one.
I know. And Voyage moved up for me. I mean, like everyone else, after Trimless Rides on HoliWood Nights. Yeah. I lapped that thing like 45 or 48 times. That's the only coaster in my lifetime that ever bruised me. I literally woke up the next day with bruises on me. That thing, like, I was so wore out, like back, how you go down and then it turns around. I had my hands up I couldn't put my hands up anymore. I was so wore out. Like it was
Oh my goodness.
such a fun ride, man. Such a fun ride.
Oh no, Voyage is awesome. Let me double check my rankings here. I literally have a like a note thing on like the iPhone. It's literally just a note. It's overall coaster rankings. I got literally it all written right here. Voyage is my number 6, Shivering Timbers is my number 5, and Beast is my number 2.
Okay.
Wait, can you read your top 5?
So my top 5, number 5 is Shivering Timbers at Michigan's Adventure. Number 4 is Maverick at Cedar Point. Number 3 is Millennium Force at Cedar Point. Number 2 is the Beast at Kings On, and number 1 is Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point.
Okay, I was curious, like what the top 5 were. Just, I think Millennium should definitely go above Magnum.
But hey, Jenny, everyone has their own opinions.
I know.
Now, I will say something that is going to be controversial for a lot of people, and you know what? I don't care, and I will explain why I have this there. Steel Vengeance at the beginning of 2024 was my number 4 coaster. It is now down to number 9.
Oh, wow.
Is it because you can't just keep rewriting it because it kind of hurts? Or
That thing wears me out too.
yeah.
No, Steel Vengeance has never wore me out. The thing with Steel Vengeance is that there's 2 reasons. First thing is that last year when I first rode it back in June, not like first time, but like my first ride of the year was in June, and I rode it and it was absolutely flying and it was great. It was awesome. I'm like, this thing's staying at number 4. This thing's awesome. I love Steel Vengeance, and I still do. But when I went in August, September, and October, it wasn't hitting. So on top of that, there was some other rides that entered the top 10 that also pushed it down. So, you know, it's hard for me to maintain Steel Vengeance at, say, number 4 if it's not performing to the standard of the great rides that I got in June. And it wasn't just like once or twice. It was almost every ride that I did in August, September, and October. It was weird. Like, I don't understand why that was, but I'm like, if it's underperforming, I can't maintain that kind of high status. Like, it's going to be overtaken by something else.
Mm.
So that's why. And another reason is, you know, at least for me personally, Steel Vengeance, it does a lot, but it almost feels just a tad bit repetitive on a lot of those airtime hills.
Especially after the trim or the mid course.
Yeah, no, especially after the mid course.
Yeah, because like I always have my hands up. I'm like, okay, are we done yet? Okay.
Yep.
One more.
Especially at the end.
I know.
Like, do I enjoy the hills? Yeah, but it's like, oh, all it's doing is it's just like throwing out of my seat, which I'm not complaining about that, but it's just like, you know, I don't know. I feel like saying it gets a little old is too harsh, but like, you know, at least on Magnum, all of the airtime hills, and I feel like I can say this because, you know, I've ridden it a lot. All the hills don't have the same levels of airtime. Yeah. It also depends on where you ride on the train as well. Yeah. So it's, I don't know.
Well, nice. It sounds like you know what you like and love in a coaster and these parks, and you have 2025 is going to be an amazing year for you.
I'm honestly excited to hear about your trips when you get back.
Yeah, like maybe fast forward to like after your trips, we can have you back on and definitely tell us.
Oh yeah, tell us about your experiences.
I mean, as of right now, I believe my 45th and 50th coasters are going to be at Dollywood, assuming that plan goes through.
Okay.
So I don't know what I'm
Lightning
going to
rod would be
make my
good.
50th or my 45th. So
Make it lightning rod and
Thunderhead.
Thunderhead's a good one. I also like Mystery Mine. Oh, and then you got Tennessee Tornado. See,
There's a lot of good rides there.
see. I love Aero coasters, so
You'd like
I
Tennessee
might.
Tornado.
Tennessee Tornado.
So I'm kind of in the state of mind where I'll make like Tennessee Tornado like my 45th or 50th. I love Aero coasters that much.
Yeah.
I like that you plan out what your 45th and 50th are gonna be, because that's kind of what I do with my coaster credits too. Like I have to figure out. Right now I'm at 498, so
Holy smokes!
I'm gonna hit 500 this year, but I don't know what 500's gonna be, and I have to
You should
figure
make
that out.
Shivering Timbers your 500th.
Ooh.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know if it's worthy.
I am telling you, Shivering Timbers was my 40th credit. Was it? Hold on, let me think. Was it?
You don't you have a list right in front of you?
Well, no, I had the
Yes.
list, but it's not. It's ranked on preference. It's not ranked on the order
When
that
he
I
wrote
wrote.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, if my memory serves, I believe Shivering Timbers was either my 35th. I think it was 35th because I also rode the other coasters that were at Michigan's Adventure, and then I also went to Holiday World and I rode those. So yes, Shivering Timbers was my 35th coaster,
Okay.
and let me tell you, I only rode Shivering Timbers when I was there like maybe 12 times. I wish I could have done more, but I'm like, okay, I got to ride the SLC. I got to ride the Den coaster. I have to ride the Aero Corkscrew, the base Aero Corkscrew model, mind you, which is actually really smooth considering it's turning 46 this year.
Oh wow.
Like I'm so serious. That thing is smoother than the one at Cedar Point. I don't know how that's possible, but it is.
Nice. All right. Well, I mean, we've learned a lot. Thank you for being on this episode again. We will definitely have you back. Definitely have you back because I really want to hear about your trips, like Jenny said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Thank you for
absolutely.
being on here.
I'm always happy to come back.
Yeah, we definitely want to have you back and hear all about your trip and where you rank the new coasters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
I
then,
mean, considering that, like, I'll just ballpark it. Considering that about 50 coasters are going to enter the rankings, things are definitely going to change. We may see coasters that are in my top 10 now go out. We could see things go up. It's going to take a lot to beat Magnum for me, if I'm being honest. And I'm not saying that in like any sort of bias because I just adore Magnum. But it's going to take a lot to beat that. But we'll see at the end of the year. I'll tell you that much.
oh, did you hear that they're gonna remove Magnum?
I was going to say that thing has an ace landmark on it.
Hey,
I just feel like nothing is safe anymore, even if it has that.
And not only that, but realistically, what are you going to fit in that thin plot of land? The only maintenance that ride is going to require within the next 20 years is track replacement, which theoretically is not that hard because Busch Gardens Williamsburg was able to do that with Loch Ness Monster fairly easy.
Yeah.
And this is just a hybrid coaster, so you just take the track off, put a new piece on. It's not like you're in the middle of the woods. So
yeah,
I do know that train 1 on Magnum, I think that's either the red or the black train. It's all new from, I believe, SNS. Last year it was all new. So as far as I'm concerned, Magnum's staying.
Nice.
I will chain myself to that ride if they ever think about tearing it down.
That's cool. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Jenny, do you have anything?
No, just thank you, Gannon, for joining us.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad
Gannon,
to be
do
here.
you have anything else?
hopefully we know when Kings Island is going to be opening for the 2025 season.
That's the mystery we're all wondering.
Oh yeah, I hopefully it's sometime in April. Hopefully they can keep good hours going. Hopefully they keep Haunt as good as it was in 2024. Haunt 2024 is really good, and
It
hopefully
really was.
they keep Winterfest as good as it was. Like Winterfest this year was also really good. So we're just waiting for Kings On to let us know when they're going to open up, so I can go back to work.
There you go, man. Well, all right. Well, again, thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Taking time out of your busy day and joining the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and turn on those notification bells for more. And we'll see you later. Bye.